The night my safe little life started to come apart didn't sound like a gunshot or a scream. It sounded like a single. I was on my wife's phone and 2 words. From a man I didn't know. Last night out. They're the world's chaos. Clients lie. Trucks break down. Weather doesn't care what your schedule looks like. Somewhere along the way, I decided a man's job was to take those hits out there and make sure his house stayed clean of it. 4 walls, a roof that didn't leak, and a wife who knew he came home on purpose. That was the job. For years, I really believed I'd nail that part. 2-story, place on the edge of Columbus, Ohio. Siding a little faded. Fence leaning. More every winter. Driveway cracked from too many freeze-thaws and not enough Saturdays off to fix it. I used to pull into that driveway after 10, 12 hours in the field and feel my shoulders drop before I even kill the engine. I'd look at that tired fence and think, I may not have much, but I've got this. Right. Inside, we had the split we used to joke about. Me, the grind, Jenna, the heart. I brought the paycheck, the tired hands, the busted knuckles. She brought candles and throw pillows and birthday reminders. Made sure there were pictures on the walls and not just bare nails. She handled invites, meal trains when neighbors got sick. Let's have people over, and we should really see your mom more. I told myself it was a good balance. I'd carry the load. She'd keep the place soft around the edges. That belief bought a lot of silence. When girls' night started as once a month, it made sense. She needed time with her friends. I liked the idea of her having a life outside of me. Then once a month turned to once a week, Thursday wine nights, Saturday just as girls down in the short north. I noticed the outfits getting a little sharper, the lipstick a shade bolder, but I told myself she was just trying to feel good. She'd twirl once in the hallway, ask too much, and I'd kiss her cheek and say, "You look great. Have fun." The new project at her office showed up right around the same time. Suddenly, there were late meetings, last-minute deadlines, vague talk about corporate being on our backs. She'd come home later, slide past me in the kitchen with an exhausted smile that didn't reach her eyes, drop her bag by the table, and talk about how stressful everything was. Less eye contact, more. "I'm just tired." Cooper Armit didn't understand any of that. He understood one thing: door sounds. He'd sit by the front door with me on those late nights. Ears perked every time a car slowed on the street. The TV would be on some game, some rerun. But my real attention was on the quiet of the house, on the clock over the stove. On the way, my own thoughts started to talk back to me. She's working. She's allowed to have a life. Don't be that guy, Red. Don't be the jealous husband with nothing real to point at. One night, somewhere near midnight, I stood in the living room with the TV muted. Cooper curled at my feet, and I finally let the thought form in real words. Maybe something's off. Not a full accusation, just a crack. I didn't say it out loud. I barely let myself finish it in my own head. I just felt that thin, cold line of unease run through me, and then I buried it under an extra beer and some late sports center like that could patch drywall over a rotten stud. A week later, the first hard piece of truth showed up, and it didn't even have the decency to knock. We were on the couch, some show playing that I wasn't really watching. Jenna sat next to me, one leg tucked under her, scrolling her phone while pretending to care about whatever was happening on screen. Her laugh was half-second late. Every time, just enough for me to notice. Her phone buzzed on the cushion between us. Screen lit up just for a second. A man's name I didn't recognize. Under it, a preview of the message last night. That was all I saw before her hand moved faster than I'd seen it move in years. Swipe tap gone. Phone flipped. Face down. Screen dark. Her shoulders suddenly tight. "Spam," she said almost too quickly. "Work stuff." Sorry, I didn't say a word. Didn't lean over. Didn't ask. Just stared at the black screen resting there between us like a loaded gun. That tiny motion, the speed of her thumb, the panic in her eyes, the way the words last night burned into my brain hit me harder than any shouted argument we'd ever had. For the first time sitting on that couch in the house, I thought I'd kept safe. I knew one thing for sure. Whatever was under this roof wasn't what I believed it was. The night it really shifted, the house was already asleep. Cooper was curled in his bed. The TV was off. The only sound was the fridge humming and the occasional car rolling past the house. I've been staring at the ceiling long enough to know it was after 1. The deadbolt turned at 1:30 a.m. The door opened slowly like someone trying to sneak into their own life. I heard her before I saw her. The uneven footsteps, the muffled curse when she dropped something in the entryway. I walked out to the hallway and found Jenna half in, half out of her heels. One shoe on, one in her hand, makeup smeared. Just enough to say, "Long night, Harry." Little wild in a way that didn't look like bad tacos. Her eyes were glassy, but not drunk. Stupid, just raw. "Oh my God," she groaned, leaning against the wall. "The tacos? I think something was bad. My stomach is killing me." She didn't clutch her stomach. She clutched the side of her head like someone with a moral hangover. I stood there taking her in, my questions lined up in my throat. "Where were you? Why didn't you answer? Who is he? What came out was you?" "Okay." She nodded too fast. Yeah, just bad food. I thought I was going to throw up in the Uber." She collapsed onto the couch like she'd rehearsed it. Hand on her forehead, eyes squeezed shut, a little whimper for effect. She never once mentioned where she'd eaten, who she was with, or why girls' night suddenly ran into early morning. I watched her breathe for a while. I watched the way she avoided my eyes, even with them closed. The smart part of me said, "Push." The loyal part said, "Don't pick a fight at 1:30 a.m. over a feeling." I swallowed the questions and grabbed her a glass of water instead. The next morning, the story didn't fit any better in daylight. She came into the kitchen in an oversized t-shirt, hair up, acting fragile. "I think it was food poisoning," she said, moving straight for the coffee like someone who hadn't spent half the night throwing up. Her eyes weren't puffy from sleep. They were swollen from crying in some car, under some different light. I noticed the coffee grounds scattered across the counter from when she'd gotten in early and made herself tea. The lie didn't even match the mess. She jumped when her phone buzzed on the table, flipping it face down so fast the spoon clinked against the mug. "You sure it was just bad tacos?" I asked, keeping my voice casual. She paused for a second too long, then turned to the sink. "Yeah, Reed, I'm sure." "Why?" She never met my eyes. "I want to work because that's what men do." I clocked in, moved through my route, and nodded when people talked, but my head stayed in that kitchen on her. Flinch. On the way, her fingers shook when she typed out a text and erased it. By the time I got home that night, the house felt like it was holding its breath. I walked down the hall toward our bedroom, lights off, except for the lamp on her nightstand. She was in bed, back to the door, phone held low near her chest. In the dresser, mirror across the room, I saw the real scene. Jenna's face lit by the screen, thumb moving steady, deleting message after message. She angled the phone away from the mirror like even her own reflection couldn't be trusted. I stayed in the hallway just out of sight, watching my own tired face in the same mirror, watching myself let it happen. My chest tightened, but I didn't panic this time. It was something harder, cleaner. One word rose up through all the excuses, through every maybe I'm overthinking this. I fed myself to stay calm. Enough. I didn't say it out loud. Not yet. But for the first time, I believed myself more than I believed her. A few days later, I'm at my desk pretending to care about an equipment report when both my phone and my work email ping. Same tone, same second. I glance at my phone. First, Family inbox, subject, line test. Results confidential. For a second, I hover. I can almost feel the old version of me reaching for the easy out. It's probably nothing. She said it was food. Poisoning. Respect her privacy. Don't be that guy. But that word from the hallway. Enough is still sitting heavy in my chest. So I click. The PDF opens in a bland web viewer. White background. Black text. The kind of thing you're supposed to glance at and forget. I scroll past the clinic logo, the disclaimers about confidentiality and follow-up appointments. Numbers, ranges, medical terms I don't recognize or care about. Then my eyes land on two clean lines. Patient Jenna Walker. Result. Positive. Not for something you get from bad tacos. Something you only get one way. Skin on skin with someone who brought it to the table before you. The office noise drops out. No ringing. Phone, no copy machine, no low talk from the hallway, just that cold hollow silence you get in your chest when something snaps. But not loud, just final. I don't explode. I don't throw the mouse. Don't flip the desk. It's like somebody reached inside and unplugged a wire I've been running hot on for years. 13 years of marriage start, silently rewriting themselves while I sit there in a cheap office chair, staring at a downloaded PDF. Late nights, face-it-down phone office husbands. She joked the sudden new project with extra hours. One name that kept popping up in her stories. Ethan Collins' coworker, going through a rough patch at home. Poor guy. Now I see it. If Jenna has this, she didn't get alone. Which means Ethan didn't either. Which means there's another house out there. Another kitchen. Another spouse sitting where I'm sitting, not knowing any of this. Yet, her name hits me next. Rachel from some old holiday party emailed Jenna. Show me on her phone once. Ethan and Rachel Collins. Happy couple, 2 kids. Matching sweaters, Christmas tree in the background. I minimized the test results long enough to dig through our old emails. Company holiday party. There it is, a group photo. Ethan with his arm around a brunette woman. Rachel, kids in front, normal, safe, blind. I find Rachel on social media in under 3 minutes. Same smile, same kids, same man. My hands are steady as I open a new message from our family account. No threats, no rage, just a line and an attachment. Rachel, you don't know me. My name is Reed Walker. I believe our spouses are involved. I thought you deserve to see this. I attach the PDF. Hover over the send button for one last second. Then I click and whatever spell. I've been living under breaks clean in half. Harbor and Oak sits on the corner. Like every other small city coffee shop. Fake plants in the window. Chalkboard. Sign about seasonal lattes. People. Typing on laptops like their Wi-Fi. Password is a personality trait. I park 2 blocks away and just sit there in my truck, hands locked around the steering wheel. People walk past in work clothes and gym clothes carrying their normal Thursdays. None of them know a bomb went off in my inbox that morning. When I finally push myself out of the truck and walk in, I spot her right away. Rachel Collins, the woman from the Christmas photo. She's at a small table near the back, fingers wrapped around a cup. She's not drinking, eyes fixed on the door, like she's been bracing for impact. Up close, she looks like she hasn't really slept in a while. Not messy, just worn thin. Rachel asks, Reed, she answers. We recognize each other without ever having met. 2 people who've been living in the same life from different sides. We sat. There's that awkward heavy stillness where normal people would talk about the weather, the coffee, the chairs. We skip all of that. He said he was working late. She starts voice low. For months now. Big projects, extra deadlines. I nod. She said it was girls' night. New project, lots of stress. We trade pieces. Little lines that fit together are too clean. Same excuses, different mouths. Then Rachel exhales, like she's about to jump into cold water. She reaches in her bag, pulls out her phone, and slides it across the table toward me. Here, she says, this is why I believe your email on the screen. Rideshare receipts to the Riverside in off Mason Road. Timestamps. Past midnight. Hotel folios with charges. For champagne, strawberries room. Service at 1 something in the morning. Screenshots of messages. When she leaves, I'll sneak out. He's probably asleep already. I love you. The words don't have names on them, but the style is hers. The way she uses dots. The way she abbreviates you. I know Jenna's voice even when it's typed. Any leftover hope that this might somehow be a misunderstanding dies over that. Scratch cafe table. Rachel swallows hard, then looks up at me. I want him to hear those test results out loud. She says in front of someone he can't lie. 2. Something in me clicks into place. Not revenge, not drama, just reality. Spoken plain. We'll do it tonight, I say. My place, my kitchen. We hash out the details. Time cover stories. No yelling, no scenes, just facts laid out. In the open. When we stand to leave, there's no hug, no dramatic goodbye. Just a tired, solid nod between two people standing in the same wreckage. We walk out separate doors, back into our separate lives, both knowing they're about to be torn open before the day is done. By the time I get home that evening, the house looks exactly like every other night. That almost makes it worse. Jenna's at the stove, stirring a pot of chicken noodle soup, hair pulled back, wearing one of those soft sweaters she knows I like. She glances over her shoulder with a practiced weak smile. Hey, she says. I'm feeling a lot better today. Must have just been something I ate. Same line, new day. Yeah. I answer, hanging my keys on the hook. Guess you got lucky then. The only thing different in the room is my breathing. Her phone is on the counter, beside the cutting board, face down, silent and black. It sits there between us like a loaded gun. We're both pretending not to see. We dance through a few minutes of small talk. How was your day? You look tired. Traffic was bad. Nothing that matters. I don't push. I don't know. I just wait. Checking the time in my head. At 6:32, the doorbell rings once. Not a lean on it rings. Not impatient. Just one sharp, clean press. Jenna looks toward the door, confused. Are you expecting someone? Yeah, I say. I am. I walk down the hall, every step, feeling more solid than anything I've done in weeks. When I open the front door, Rachel is standing there, coat on, hair pulled back, a folded sheet of paper in her hand. Come in, I tell her. In the kitchen, Jenna freezes. For a second, she looks at Rachel like she's seen a ghost. Then recognition hits, and all the color drains from her face. Rachel, she whispers. Where are you? I take my spot near the table. We're all standing. No one sits. No one relaxes. Rachel doesn't waste time. She unfolds the paper with careful hands and starts reading in a steady voice. Patient, Jenna Walker. Result? Positive. Jenna flinches like the words are physical. Stop, she blurts, stepping forward. Please don't. She reaches for the paper, but I move between them. Not to protect her, to keep her from snatching reality out of the air. Let her finish, I say. Rachel keeps going. Each word sounds like a verdict being entered into record. Jenna's voice starts to crack. Read. This isn't, it's not what it looks like. I swear it was. Her phone buzzes on the counter. All three of us look at it. The screen lights up face down, vibrating against the cheap laminate until it flips. Just enough for the name to flash. Ethan Collins. I step forward and pin the phone in place with my boot, pressing it to the counter so she can't grab it, can't flip it over, can't bury it. The name keeps lighting up over and over like a confession in neon. Whatever doubt was left in that room dies right there. Jenna breaks. It was just once. She blurts. I was drunk. I wasn't thinking. He took advantage. I swear it didn't mean anything. Rachel Doesn't raise her voice. She just pulls out her own phone, swipes, and sets it on the table between us. Hotel receipts, multiple dates, same room, same inn, champagne and strawberries. Timestamps, past midnight. Once Rachel says, quietly, you don't get bulk rates for. Once. Jenna shakes her head frantically, tears spilling now. You don't understand. I was in a bad place. Our marriage. Stop. I cut in, voice flat. You didn't trip and fall into his bed. Jenna, that wasn't a mistake. That was a series of decisions. She looks at me like I'm supposed to soften, like tears are a key that still works in this lock. Rachel slips the printed test results onto the table next to the buzzing phone with Ethan's name. You didn't just wreck your own house, she says, shoulders sagging. You wreck mine, my kids, too. Home's not one. Silence swallows the kitchen. Finally, Rachel takes a breath, like she's just reached the end of a very long run. I'm done, she says. Simply. She turns, walks past me, and out of the house without slamming a single door. The printed results and still buzzing phones stay on my table, like evidence in an open case. And for the first time, Jenna is standing in front of them with nothing left to hide. Behind, the house goes quiet fast after Rachel leaves. No yelling, no slamming, just the soft click of the front door. And then nothing. Jenna's legs give out. First, she drops into a chair at the table like someone unplugged her. Then, the words start spilling. I'm so sorry, Reed. I don't know what I was thinking. I'll quit my job. I'll block him. I'll change my number. We can go to therapy. We can fix this. Please. It all comes out in one long stream. Promises, bargains, future plans. She's building on a floor she already burned through. Every I'll do anything hits the linoleum and rolls away like an empty shell. Casing, loud in the moment, useless. After, I sit across from her, hands flat, on the table just listening. No yelling, no banging the table, just letting her run out of ammunition. When she finally wears herself down to little gasps and sniffles, I stand up, walk to the drawer where we keep the important stuff, passports, insurance paperwork, mortgage copies. I slide everything aside and pull out a blank manila folder. I set it on the table between us. Her eyes lock on it. She understands. Without me saying a word. You're going to Linda's tonight, I say. My voice sounds like it belongs to someone else. Someone calmer. Tomorrow we will talk about separation. Then we talk to lawyers. She shakes her head hard. No, Reed. We can come back from this. You can't just throw away 13 years. I'm not throwing it away, I say. You already did. I'm just not living in the trash. With you. I grab my keys. Where are you going? She asks, voice small. Somewhere. I can breathe, I answer. On the porch. The air is colder than it looked. I feel more peace in that chill than I felt inside my own walls in months. In the truck, I text Rachel. Thank you for making me feel less crazy. She replies a few minutes later. We just told the truth. That's not revenge. That's survival. The next day, the opinions start. Text from family. Calls. Counseling is the Christian thing to do. People make mistakes. Be the bigger man. I keep the ugly details off the internet and repeat one line to anyone who pushes. Respect is everything. Once that's gone, it's not a marriage. It's just paperwork and memories. That evening, my phone lights up with an unknown number. Bro, it's not what you think, Ethan. My reply is simple. We're done here. I screenshot it, file it with the rest of the evidence, and then block the number. The law office is smaller than I pictured. Old hardwood floors, shelves sagging with binders, a fake plant dying slowly in the corner. It smells like coffee and paper. The place where people's lives get chopped up and stapled into something the court can understand. My lawyer Harris is in his 50s. No fake sympathy, no overeager handshake, just a nod and a legal pad. What have you got for me, Mr. Walker? I Slide a flash drive across the desk. Medical PDF screenshots, hotel receipts, text logs. The timeline's ugly, but it's clear. He plugs it in, clicks around. Eyebrows lifting once at the test. Results again at the hotel invoices. All right, he says. First thing back. Everything up. Cloud printed copies, too. Drives. Second thing, from here on out, all communication stays calm and minimal. No essays. No drunk texts. No. How could you? Understood. Yeah. I say. Understood. We go over assets. House. 2 cars. Retirement accounts. No kids. Which makes this easier on paper if not. In real life, he explains how to pursue separation without turning it into a blood sport. What to expect from her. Lawyer. What not to do if I want to keep things clean. Later that night, I'm back. At my kitchen table. Same spot where Rachel read the verdict. Different tasks. I open Jenna's shared work calendar on the family laptop. I line it up against the hotel receipts and write. Share timestamps Rachel sent. Late. Project meetings match to room 214. Riverside in 3, 4, 5 times. I print it all and lay the pages out in order. I realize I don't need speeches. The facts are already screaming. My phone buzzes with another unknown number. I answer. Read. Man, it's Ethan. The voice is tight. Rehearsed. Look, can we talk? Manto man. It was a rough night. We were drinking. Things got out of hand. It's complicated. We never meant to hurt you. I let a beat of silence sit there. You want man to man? I say. Then be a man to your wife. Tell Rachel the truth. You don't owe me explanations. You owe her honesty. He stumbles. It's not that simple. It is. I cut in, and we're done here. I hang up, log the call time, add it to the file, and block the number. For the first time since this started, the chaos feels contained. Still painful, but now it has dates, documents, and a path forward. Instead of just noise in my head. Ending. A marriage doesn't look like a movie. It looks like cardboard. I'm in my bedroom with 3 boxes on the floor and trash bags folded on the dresser. Jenna's side of the closet is a row of color and fabric I used to think of as us. Now it's inventory. I start folding. Clothes, blouses, dresses I remember. From anniversaries and office parties. I carried her through the door when we first moved here. Each one goes into the box not as a memory, just as an item, being relocated. On the dresser, her perfume bottles stand in a little cluster. I pick one up, thumb the glass. That scent used to mean home. Now it just means she was never only here. I wrap in a t-shirt and lay it on top of the clothes. At the bottom of a drawer, I found her wedding photo in a frame. Younger us. Her eyes clear. My hand on her back like I believed nothing could move us. I hold it for a second. Not because I want her back, just because I remember how sure I was that day that I'd finally done something right. Then I put the frame in the box, close the lid, and tape it shut. The room doesn't feel empty after. Feels honest. 2 days later, Jenna shows up on the porch. She knocks like a stranger. I open the door but don't step aside. We can talk out here, I say, keeping the door mostly closed behind me. She dives into the script. We have history, home love. People come back from worse. I'll spend the rest of my life making it. Up to you if you just give me one last chance. I'll let her finish every word. When she runs out, I answer. We can't fix what you kept breaking. I say you didn't make one mistake, Jenna. You built a secret life on top of ours, then expected me to live under it. She starts to cry again. I don't move. Take care of yourself. I tell her. Then I close the door. Not hard. No slam, just final. I'm back at the same kitchen table where everything cracked open. Rachel's printed test results sat here. Jenna's lies died here. Now it's just me, my laptop, and an email from Harris with a PDF attached. Separation. Agreement draft. I open it. It's not romantic. It's line items and sections. House mine. Mortgage mine. Her car. Hers. Retirement accounts split a certain way. No kids to negotiate, no. Custody schedules, just money and property. And who walks away with what? I scroll through each page slowly, not because I don't understand it, but because I want to feel every choice. This is the paperwork version of a line I've already drawn in my chest. My hands don't shake. It doesn't feel good. It's not some victory lap. It feels like finally cleaning out a room that's been cluttered for years. Dusty, annoying, necessary. When I reach the last page, there's a little blank line waiting. Signature Reed Walker. I pick up the pen, press it down, and sign my name. Simple, calm. Something settles in my chest when the ink dries. Not happiness, not pride, just a solid click like a door finally locking in the right frame. I look out the window at a clear Ohio sky. Nothing special, just a regular evening. Soft light on the cracked driveway. Neighbors doing whatever neighbors do. I catch my reflection in the glass and realize I'm actually smiling a little. Not because this is fun, because I'm not lying to myself anymore. If you're a man reading this, and your gut's been twisting the way mine was when the stories don't match the patterns, when your body knows before your brain admits it, hear me clearly. You're not crazy. You're not insecure. You're paying attention. A man needs peace under his own roof. Respect is the foundation. Without it, you're not married. You're performing. I didn't walk away from love. I walked away from a lie. There's more ahead. Court dates, money, what happened with Rachel and her kids. And I'll get to that. But tonight, I shut the laptop, turn off the lights, and go to bed in a house that finally feels like it's on my side. For the first time in years, I fall asleep in a home that isn't lying to me. Subscribe and stay one step ahead of cheaters. And trust me, the next story makes this one look like a fairy tale.